Hi, my name is Vince Tanzi, and this is my author discussion on Nat Turner. Nat Turner was born on October 2nd, 1800, in Southampton County in Virginia. Turner had a mom who was an African native with a strong attitude against slavery. Turner was allowed by his slave owner to be instructed in reading, writing, and religion. Thus, Turner from a young age became extremely religious, partaking in many practices such as praying regularly and fasting. From a young age, many believed Turner was special and saw him becoming a preacher. Subsequently, because of this drive towards God, Turner became a preacher and a very famous leader. Turner was also noted to have this special ability of being able to recall and illustrate past events. Turner also believed that God talked to him, which caused him to fulfill the words of God and led to the Nat Turner Rebellion. The Nat Turner Rebellion. The Nat Turner Rebellion is often known as one of the bloodiest rebellions of all time. The rebellion kicked off with Turner fighting against his oppressors by getting a group of slaves to rise up and kill his plantation owners, the Travis family. Turner went on to gain more and more slave supporters who would go plantation to plantation, kill the slave owners, and take all their guns, armor, and horses. Turner and his supporters soon got enough steam to attempt to take over the county settlement Jerusalem. But this turned out brutal as they were met by many slave owners with much more armor than Turner and his supporters had. This led to Turner retreating and fleeing into the woods. But as time went on, he was captured and ultimately killed by hanging for his rebellion. The Confessions of Nat Turner. The Confessions of Nat Turner is an article that captures the trial of Nat Turner in Jerusalem and is a first-hand account of what his thoughts about the rebellion were and the words he spoke at court. In court, Turner starts out by explaining how the reason for him leading this rebellion was because he believed God was calling him to do this. Turner discusses things such as seeing white and black spirits going to battle in the sky and hearing God yell at him from the sky to fight and take revenge on the serpent, also known as the plantation owner at the time. Turner also goes on and explains how after seeing and hearing this, God speaks the words, "Such is your luck, such you are called to see, and let it come rough or smooth, you must surely bear it." What I take from this is that God has given Nat Turner a special ability of seeing the past so that Turner could better understand the circumstances around him. Additionally, Turner has the luck of being one of the only slaves that was taught how to read and write. Therefore, God calls on Turner to lead this revolt through rough or smooth in his words. This is in order to bring back equality no matter the cost. Thus, we see Turner appears as a martyr of the slave movement and rebellion. This shows Turner's connection to God as God himself was a martyr to his own movement. This appears to be something that Turner is aware of, as when he is asked, "Do you find yourself mistaken now at trial?" he answers back to this question, "Was not Christ crucified?" This is a huge answer as it shows that Turner feels an extreme connection with God, and this connection proves to be the driving motivator in his overall life and mainly his famous rebellion. So, for the themes. When I thought of the themes involved with Nat Turner, I began to think of the themes involved with Lauren in the Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. Therefore, I decided to show the themes involved with Nat Turner by comparing them with the themes of the Parable of the Sower. Lauren created her own religion called Earthseed, and it's connected to Nat Turner because people thought of him as a prophet of God, and like Lauren, he became a religious leader. Next, we see Lauren has the strange ability of being able to feel the pain of others, called hyperempathy syndrome, while Nat Turner has the strange ability of recalling events that happened before he was born. I believe that this served as a huge motivating factor for both individuals. because since they were different, they were able to see the circumstances and environments around them more clearly than others. Thus, this motivator served as a primary reason for both individuals to want to change themselves and the circumstances around them. Therefore, we get the saying of God is change. Lauren believes that God is not a dictator type figure and is rather the change that every society should strive for in the process of growing and becoming better. This same attitude we see in Nat Turner as he uses God as a benchmark to help people understand that God thinks of everyone as equals and make people want to stand up and fight for what's right to change the suppressive culture of the time. Additionally, the theme of community comes into play, where Nat Turner has a huge community of slaves that follow him because of his religion, ideas, and ability to act, just like Lauren has a huge community that follows her because of her religion and courage to act upon it. The thing I believe makes these individuals so similar is the courage they have to actually act upon their beliefs. We see this in Lauren as she gains the fortitude to leave behind her suppressive community, even though she's only grown up knowing this place, and ultimately establish her own community, Acorn, the first Earthside community based on the saying, God is changed. But we also see this in Nat Turner as he shows incredible bravery in leading his own path by leaving his plantation and organizing and leading one of the greatest rebellions in history. Nat showed extreme determination in doing this while knowing that the consequences could be extreme. Additionally, although Lauren was not a slave, the dystopian society she lives in actually treats their citizens similar to slaves. I say this because at the start of the novel, she is too scared to even tell her parents she does not believe in the same God they do. Thus, this is similar to Nat Turner always being scared to go against the plantation owners and go against the social norms from slaves early on, because this is what it was like for slaves. At the time, slaves were treated harshly, and to go against that suppressive nature was a huge, huge thing that could lead to dire consequences. Overall, both Lauren and Nat Turner established a community built around change, which is one of the main themes I think of when I think of both of these people. Because of their strange abilities that motivate them to preach messages that lead people to stand up and attempt to change their lives for the better. Overall, by connecting the themes of Nat Turner and Lauren to each other, I hope you gain a better understanding of what I took from reading the Confessions of Nat Turner. This is my presentation. Thank you very much.